Well, I just was always like breakfast. I never sat there and thought like, why do they call it breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
break fast.
yeah.
Kind of like Jade does when she's driving.
Oh, you motherfucker. Oh my gosh, this is horrible.
Good job, Wexford County.
Aren't freeways like the first thing they're supposed to take care of?
You would think so.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the freeway itself looks good, but the on-ramp is...
No, it's covered.
The freeway itself?
No,
Look at the freeway.
You said the on-ramp.
Okay.
We were talking about the on-ramp.
I know I was, but then you were like, no, it's covered. My God. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Drivin Livin. I am Dylan.
I'm Jade. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Today's episode is once again sponsored by Noise District Apparel, which is my cousin Jared and I's clothing brand. All about that loud car life. As you might be able to see if you're watching the video, I've got a hoodie on right here. It is one of the new hoodies that I honestly don't even know exactly how well it's showing up on our website. And I've also got this hat. Pretty dope. Check us out. If you decide to order something, 15% off with the discount code Drivin Livin. DRIVINLIVIN. Yes. So anyways, we're already arguing. I think mainly because of the roads. I'll say that, right?
Yeah.
Mainly the roads. I should have measured off of the porch, but
I think we got a foot.
I think we got about a foot of snow.
I think we got all of a foot of snow.
And yeah, the freeway itself is not 100% clear either.
But I guess they just assume people up here know how to drive in the snow.
Yeah, but it's just sketchy.
I know. Well, because it's like it'll be clear for a little bit and then you hit a slushy, icy spot.
Well, that's like I was about to set my cruise and then I seen that spot and I was like, okay, never mind. Yeah. So, roads are crap. Taking our time today. Once again, heading to go to Travers to work out. As normal, for the most part. We've had a couple episodes where we were heading to Midland, or even one of them in town. But this is our typical recording time. But I did want to talk about, and I'm hoping this thing.
Even CJ was like, because when I was telling him, you know, they're going to go hang out with your parents or whatever, he was like, oh, it's Sunday, isn't it? I was like, yeah. They know the routine.
Yep. But what we were talking about, that we were going to talk about on this episode, what we were talking about, that we're going to talk about, that we were going to talk about, people with their, it's typically beat up trucks, beat up rusty trucks. I've seen a few of these in town now, and I've seen a couple of them just other places. This one we just seen today though, big old sticker on the back window, not sponsored by mommy and daddy.
No, that's okay, because I mean, if you, I get like, you know, you're 16 or something, and you buy your first car, like, that's good, you know, that's, you know, if you're paying for it yourself, and you're, you know, that's, you know, what you can afford,
yes.
and you're Like, it doesn't matter what you have, you know? I guess it's just, but... It's just funny to me that that's where I mostly see those stickers, is on
beat up
not
trucks.
So nice vehicles.
Yeah. But that's, I guess even if I was 16 and I had bought my own vehicle, which I'll be honest, I didn't.
Yeah.
My dad bought it. $1,500 for that 93 S10. But even if I had bought it, I honestly don't think I would have had a big old sticker across the back window to let everybody know. But I will say, how you're talking about 16-year-olds, I know, and hopefully this guy doesn't listen to this, because I'd kind of feel like a prick if he's one of the few people that actually listen to our stuff. But
should you even say it?
Yeah, why not? But
you don't have to mention any names.
I don't know the guy's name. I've just seen it around quite often. But there's this big old H2 Hummer. I think it's an H2. Yeah. Sounds like shit. Looks like shit. And he's got a sticker on the back window, not sponsored by Mommy and Daddy. And I'm just, every time I see it, I'm like, no shit. I can tell.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not, every time I think that or say it, like, I'm not trying to judge. It's just literally the first thought that comes to my mind. It's like, yeah, it's not that great of a vehicle. I can understand that it wouldn't be, you wouldn't need the financial support for it. But then again, that still, when I say it, that still sounds judgy.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't understand.
I don't understand why people like make their cars sound like shit. Like, if you don't have the money to do it, then I get it. But it's like, what? Just leave it how it is. Like, you know, I don't know.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
I mean, what do you mean by why they make it sound like shit? Like, you think they purposely make their vehicles sound like shit?
Well, a lot of people who like think stuff like that sounds good, like no exhaust, and they just think loud is a good sound. Not all loud sounds are good.
So yeah, the like typical teenager that has their 1990s Chevy pickup that they just cut the mufflers off and
no exhaust at all.
That's just what I picture when you're
and it's
explaining
just going down the road screaming. Like I don't think that's a good loud. I'm sorry.
I bet there's plenty of people that said that about the red GTO too.
Oh, I know, but
like, oh my god, that's ridiculous.
I love the sound of GTO.
I know. It was pretty obnoxious.
It was obnoxiously loud.
But I did love it too.
I just love how it idled and like the tone to it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so this, if you guys aren't aware, the red GTO, which has been sitting in the garage for over a year now because I hit a deer with it. And yeah, totaled, I guess. But
very fixable.
Yeah. I bought the car in 2014. It was stock, besides a quote-unquote muffler delete, which I will say was mufflers taken off and then pipe added back on. It wasn't just chopped off right there and left. But so it was fairly loud at that point. But I ended up, I cammed it, put long tube headers on it, and I mean it's got trick flow heads on it and whatnot. And
I forgot about that. I forgot taking that to.
Yeah, that was the last thing I done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent $3,800 getting heads put on it.
Those are nice. You have so much money into that car and it just sits in the garage.
I know.
The interior's completely ripped out of it because they thought they were going to be able to fix it.
Body shop.
But they could have fixed it. They just didn't. Your insurance didn't want to cover it.
Yes, but the thing is about the interior being ripped out of it was that's when they were looking at it to see if they could do it and how much it would take.
But
so it's not like they took the interior out of it like, yep, they said we can fix it, so let's take it out. They had taken it out previous to that.
But why though? Because the damage,
to check everything.
It was only from the roof. Like the only spot in the
roof,
car.
The quarter panel.
Oh, barely. I don't know. I just didn't think it was enough of like an accident to total the car.
I know, but
the only thing that looked really bad on the whole car itself was your windshield, because the windshield was the entire windshield was
the deer
gone.
Yeah, we said this in another episode too.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, the deer slammed into the windshield. And I have a feeling just like its neck and head hit the roof. Caved the roof in a little bit. And I think that's really what done it for the insurance company.
Because if that wouldn't have happened, like a windshield's easy to replace.
I know. But what I was talking about with the exhaust was just, car was fairly loud. And I think the cam and definitely the headers is what really made it obnoxious. But I went through multiple drive-thrus with it, and I will say I felt like a prick quite a few times, and to feel like less of a prick, I would shut the car on and off when I had to move and when I came to a stop.
I've done that a couple times in the Blue Goat, taking it through a drive-thru. But there's one specific drive-thru I've only taken it through once. And I don't go to this drive-thru very often, but I was craving me some Taco Bell one day. You know, the one on Saginaw going towards Sanford. I don't like that drive-thru at all because
it's tight.
It's very tight, and there's nowhere to get out. Like if you want to change your mind, like there's no going anywhere. You're right there. Like you're going the whole way through because it kind of wraps around the building, and there's nowhere to go. And so multiple times probably at least 4.
I know. Keep talking, and if something happens, then we'll acknowledge it.
Probably 4 times I turned the car on and off. But I will say, a couple cars behind me were like giving me thumbs up out the window. So it must have enjoyed it. But not everybody's like that either.
No, because that's one of my experiences was I went to Culver's, and after I had paid, I pulled forward. I must have thought I was getting my food real soon or something because I kind of left the car running. The lady behind me pulled up to the window, and I can see her and the cashier lady both looking and pointing at my car. So
yeah, there's people like that too.
You guys are gonna be seeing Jade flipping out this whole trip.
There's just slush everywhere.
I know. Okay, if you were driving, I guess I'd probably be doing the same thing because I don't trust your driving.
And I don't trust
But
yours.
with me, I'm a professional driver.
No, you're not.
Legally a professional driver. I'm just saying. Hey, my low fuel light's already on.
I saw that.
That's not good.
We'll make it.
We're gonna have to get gas and.
Actually, I don't know how far this will go.
I know. We're going to Kingsley and getting gas.
So I know when we had the Jettas, that made it 60 miles on E? It had to have, because you said it came on in Beaverton, and from Beaverton to
I didn't quite make it home that trip.
No. You ran out of fuel.
Yes.
But still,
But there was a detour. I honestly think that's why. I think I would have made it to the shop.
There was a detour.
But I think I probably would have ran out of fuel at the shop.
Yeah. But that's still quite a ways to go with on
if you guys are looking for a vehicle to cheaply get you many, many miles, Jetta TDI.
Manual Jetta TDI.
Yes, can't recommend that more. We had, what was it? I think the wagon was an 05. Yeah.
And then the automatic was an 04.
Yeah. Well, we had a wagon, manual 5-speed manual transmission, the 05 TDI, and I actually just seen a few days ago on my Facebook memories, I think the max I went was like 660 or 670 miles on a tank, which, mind you, was, I can't remember, I think either a 12 or 14 gallon tank.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive.
I miss it just for that reason.
Yes, that's literally I mean, they were comfortable, and I
loved the white Jetta.
Pretty fun.
I really did.
I'm not gonna say, obviously I'm not gonna say they were peppy cars, but they were comfortable. Like, I could hop in it and just go and be fine.
I miss the white Jetta a lot. I loved the fact that it was leather seats in there. And
yes.
I don't know, I love that car.
The one thing that I did not like about the TDIs though, and it's just because it's a diesel, it takes forever to get your heating up in there.
Yeah, you gotta wait too before you actually start the car. You gotta wait till
yes, a typical diesel. The glow plugs warm up.
I loved it though, and
I will say that was the only thing, was that it seemed like you had to actually start driving the car for it to heat up enough to actually get heat blowing.
Yeah, and I don't know, did we ever figure out that issue before we sold it with the white one? Because there were no. I'm talking about
the transmission.
That was a transmission issue where, like, because it was an automatic, so you weren't shifting. The car did that automatically. Okay, yeah, there you go. There's your Subi wave for the day. I'm driving back.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, where, like, you would have to let it heat up for a long time, like half an hour to 45 minutes. Otherwise, like, I would sit there and be trying to go and be like, and you'd be up to like the rev limiter, and it wasn't shifting.
Oh god, I'm doing 70.
And it wasn't always like that, but it seemed like you would have to let it heat up for a long time in order for it to not do that.
That's
that was not good.
That's a common thing with the automatics.
The older ones, like, right?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's just the early 2000s. I'm not 100% sure.
It had very high miles on it when you got it though, too. So.
But it's a diesel, so they can go quite a ways. Both of them had 200,000 miles on them.
Yeah.
But that is one of the thing about the automatic transmissions and those, at least the early 2000s, like I said.
Once it hits like 200,000 miles, they start to have issues, I think.
I don't know. I just know that that's something with the automatics.
Yeah.
But yes, they have issues. Ours had something going on, not quite sure what it was, but the car would have to heat up. Well, you'd have to get moving for a while for it to warm up.
It was very annoying.
But
and then when it finally did, it would be like you would, like...
It would hit hard.
Yes, it would.
Gear. But, so I sold the car for pretty dang cheap. The guy knew that it had that issue, but it sounded like he had just gotten out of jail or something, so he was just looking for a vehicle. But, the day that I actually sold it, because he couldn't even, I don't think he could even come to get the car. He had to have his sister and her boyfriend come and get it.
Yeah, someone else.
But anyways, the day that they came and got it, it was actually, I want to say it was like high 80s or 90 degrees out. And on hot days like that, you could actually start it up and it would shift just fine. But if it was,
when it was cold and
60s, 50s, or colder than that, it took quite a while before it would warm up enough to shift.
Because I remember like going down the road and it wouldn't shift, and like I was trying to get home, or go to work or whatever, and it just was like I was riding down the road 20 miles an hour.
Yep.
And first, it's like, okay, this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
And then it would finally, for after however long of doing that, it would just jerk. It would jerk you forward, and yeah, it shifted really hard, and then it would be fine.
Yes. But that was part of the reason that I would say go with the manual.
Yes.
And that.
Better fuel mileage too.
Yep.
I think everyone should know how to drive a manual. I think more cars should be manual. Manuals are cheaper. For the most part.
Yeah, I was gonna say in some situations. Typically in sportier cars, no.
No, but
But
the Cruise, our Cruise is cheaper because it was a manual.
I was gonna say if you're getting the Cruise or a Toyota Corolla or something like that, that's just I don't know what you want to call them, a regular person's car. Someone that's not looking for anything sporty or super fast. Yeah, those typically tend to be cheaper than the automatics, and they always, a lot of the times, they always seem to come in mainly the base model.
Yeah. Worth it though.
Oh, I know. But yeah, if you're looking for a Corvette or something, the automatic's definitely going to be cheaper.
Yes.
But I've said it hundreds of times before. I think driving a manual is a lot more fun.
It is.
It's just a better driving experience. If you're looking for a car that you can easily run through McDonald's and then sit there and eat your cheeseburgers while you're driving down the road, yeah, I'd get an automatic. But
now it's anytime I do drive an automatic, my dad's truck or Becky's car or whatever, I'm not, it feels so weird to me. I'll try to shift, downshift when I'm slowing down, or try to push a clutch in when I'm coming to a stop. I'm wait, I don't need to do that.
yup. Oh, a video. See that? How to build perfect shoulders. Dumbbells only. Ooh.
Do you have any dumbbells?
Not at our house. I don't personally have it.
Oh.
I've always just used my dad's. No. I have been wanting, that might be a good thing to do with a little bit of my Christmas bonus or something. They make those dumbbells that they look funny, but they're a whole bunch of weights that you can twist a little knob or whatever and switch the weight, the amount of weight. I think that would be awesome just for doing if we were at home and wanted to do our shoulder exercises or whatever, you could boom, set it up, 10 pounds, do it.
I've been watching a lot of
click it to 25.
I see them a lot on Pinterest and TikTok. Well, I don't have TikTok, but people make TikTok videos and post them other places besides TikTok, and a lot of I don't know if they're exactly fitness trainers, but they're just a lot of them are regular
everybody's a fitness
people,
trainer,
that just regular people working out, and they'll post different workouts and stuff, and it's crazy how much you can do with a few dumbbells or resistance bands.
I was just gonna say
you can do pretty much any workout with you know, very, very minimal equipment. And I would have been like, usually I'm like, how? Like, I would have never thought to do it that way.
I know. I've been wanting to. I literally was just thinking about it last night while I was plowing. I was like, you know, if you really wanted to work out more, we could honestly probably get you a set of bands, and you could be able to do it at your dad's house if you really had to.
I have bands. I just need dumbbells.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would.
Well, then we'll get you some dumbbells. We need to see how much I think those dumbbells that are interchangeable, though, I think those were pretty expensive. But
I'm sure
it would honestly be worth it if you could literally have all the weight you need right there.
Yeah. I think I'd want to get like 5s, 10s, 15s, and 20s. My dad has 25s and 35s.
Yes,
so
but that's why I'm saying if we got those ones.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think those, like, regular dumbbells, I think they usually are, at least back when my dad was buying them, they were $1 a pound.
Oh, okay.
But anyways.
Sorry.
No, it's alright. We had a little conversation there.
When was the last time you immediately regretted something you said?
That's a hard one to remember.
I don't have like a specific time, but like,
I don't know, I probably do it a lot with you.
Yes.
Like I'll get ticked off about something and I say something mean and then I'm like, oh.
That's how I get like with road rage. Like I'm like that with road rage.
Oh God, I know, you're terrible.
Like I'll just get so mad at people because they're doing something like, it's like, come
something
on.
Stupid.
Yeah, and I'll get so mean because, you know, like, it's just ridiculous to me, but then I'll feel bad about it afterwards.
Trust
like,
me.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that about them. God's watching me. I'm trying to work on myself.
We have had multiple car trips, even just going through town. And, yeah.
Or I'll throw my finger out the window.
She flips out on someone.
And I'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have
5 or 10 minutes later, it's, oh God, I feel guilty. Oh God, I feel bad.
Because I don't like being rude. I really don't.
Let it go. It's already happened.
I don't like doing that. I don't like being like that. But it's like, if other people are doing it. Why? Because now people are like, hey, there's this blonde lady that's just an absolute biatch. All I'm saying is it's hard, like when people are doing it to you, it's like you don't want to sit there and take it either, like.
I know.
I don't know. I don't think you should, because, you know, the whole saying, oh, kill them with kindness, whatever. Like,
it doesn't always work.
That doesn't work half the time either. Like, people are going to be rude either way, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel bad because I hate being rude. I do. I know.
I feel like some situations you kind of have to be.
I know.
And I guess I've really learned that growing up because pretty much almost all through high school, not to go on about it, but I was bullied a lot of my high school. I guess more junior high. But anyways, and I just was always the nice guy that never said anything, and that's why people would push you. Yeah. But it's literally all you gotta do is snap back once, and usually people chill out.
Yeah. That's what I wish I would have learned, like, but I was always scared of getting in trouble too. Like, I didn't want to
I don't think I was really afraid of getting in trouble. I was just like not one to want to be in conflict. Like, I would just try to avoid things at all costs, but then people come to you because they know you're not going to do anything.
Right. Or
which I was always pissed off about it just because I was like, why? I've always been nice. Why are you doing this? But, you know, seeing the people that were doing that back then, I know now that a lot of them, at least, had some issue going on, or whether it was at home with their family or
that's
just
the case a lot of the
themselves.
time, though, too. Like, people are mean just to, because they have... someone's being mean to them, or it takes their mind off. It's something else to do for them.
See, and I don't think all of them actually think like, hey, I'm getting treated this way at home, so I need to treat someone else this way. I think it's just kind of like, that's life.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to be considered bigger and tougher, I need to show it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get gas here real soon.
Yeah. Or like when you hear, oh, this person said this about you, or whatever, like. And that's hard too, because, also called rumors. You never know if it's actually true or not.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Like, you never know, but it's like, I don't know why people have such an issue with, like, and I can't really talk because I'm the same way, because I like to avoid conflict, and I don't think I've really gotten any better about it, but it's really hard, because, I don't know, I don't know why it's so hard to just, like, confront people about stuff, like, and I think it's probably because of the whole, like, oh, you don't want to offend someone, or you don't, you know what I mean, or it's just, like, not your business, like, but I guess that's really the only way to, tell if something's true or not about someone, by actually talking to them.
Yes. That guy just see me checking out his Subi.
That guy?
Not the Outback. That Hawkeye right there.
The black one?
Yeah. I just noticed that it was a Hawkeye, and I was like, I was on my tiptoes looking over to see if it had a hood scoop, to be a WRX or an STI.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
Oh, so it's just an
But yeah, he was walking inside, and I'm like standing there looking at it, and he's looking back at me because, Subi gang. Yes. So I just kind of like done my white person smile.
Wow. Should you be stalling?
I'm trying not to.
Oh yeah, random question.
You want to do another question? My gosh. It's so difficult to ride with her.
It's not. What state/city would you like to move to?
It's kind of tough. I don't have an exact answer, but I will say that, growing my YouTube, growing this podcast and the clothing brand, of course, www.noisedistrictapparel.com. I really think I would benefit from living somewhere that had a fairly large, car scene. Because I think Cadillac is not the best place for that.
Most big cities.
Yeah, and that's like my first thought was like Detroit area, just because that's still Michigan.
Yeah. Grand Rapids area.
Grand Rapids. I think I'd rather go Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Even though Detroit's probably got more cars, I don't know. I guess myself, I'd feel more comfortable being Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then other than that, I'm thinking like Houston, Texas, or somewhere
south
in Florida.
That doesn't get snow.
Yeah.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Just to drive, like the goat all year round.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about putting anything away for the winter.
If we were to move somewhere like that, we could get a house that's just big enough for us. That way we can have a couple cool ass cars and actually be able to afford them.
I think we should do that. If one day, if we had the means and the money to do so, just move out of the state.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good
Say
to do
screw
that.
you guys.
It sounds very scary, but I think that's good. Like, I think it's...
I know.
Everybody always says you should move, like, out of your comfort zone at least once.
I know.
And I think that's a good idea.
I just worry. Literally, my only thought with moving out of the state is the boys being able to, you know,
adapt to that.
Well, and seeing our parents.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Anyways,
I think they would be okay. They're very resilient.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wasn't too worried about the boys. I was more our parents would be.
Yes. Yes, family.
Yeah.
All right. What was ruined because it became popular?
I'll let you answer that one.
Why? Is there something
I don't know. I pretty much just answered that other one on my own, and I'm trying to think of something.
Me too. I'll probably think of it after the fact.
Probably.
But like sitting here trying
Because
to think
I
about
know
it.
there's been things that I've thought like, oh, just everybody. Okay, I guess I could say like, Camaros, Mustangs, the C7 Corvettes. When the C7 Corvettes were first coming out, I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then literally it seemed like everybody had the base model Stingray Corvette. And it's just, to me, once you see something so much, or it seems like so many people have them,
That's just
at least in my eyes, it's
cool
like, yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
And I guess that's why I like the hatchback Subies.
That's why you
because
have
they're
to
not
go
around.
GTOs.
That's why I like the GTOs, because you don't see those around. I mean, yeah. I just, especially when it comes to vehicles, I don't really want something that you drive through town and you see 5 others of them.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice to be out driving and see something you don't see every day.
I agree.
And it's a good feeling too when you get what's the word I'm looking for? Complimented.
Yes, complimented, same thing.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been a good one. And I skipped it.
Oh, do you know what it said?
Something about what did you just recently find out, or I can't remember how they worded it, but what's something that you're embarrassed about recently finding out, or something like something that should have been super obvious, but you like just like somebody just like pointed out, oh, you know what I mean, like something that's like super obvious, but you just figured it out.
Why, do you have an answer for that?
I'm sure I do. I just can't think of one.
I've got a stupid one.
What?
That was just from listening to another podcast, 2 Bears, 1 Cave. Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura.
Oh,
They're comedians.
Yeah.
They talk about some of the weirdest shit. But anyways, I don't know, they got talking about food, and Bert came to the realization at like literally the same time I did, and they were kind of talking about fasting and whatnot, and then he started mentioning like breakfast, and he's like, oh my god, I just realized what breakfast is. It's brake fast.
Oh.
You're braking, you're fasting.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, holy crap. Because he was like, I feel so stupid for just no realizing that. I'm like, yeah, that's the same thing I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, it's right in front of your face.
Because I was going to say, I know that.
I just was always like, breakfast. I never sat there and thought, like, why do they call it breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah.
brake fast.
Yeah.
Kind of like Jade does when she's driving.
Oh, you motherfucker.
See, I'm a comedian too. Not really.
You're savage.
So do you got anything, or are we going to move on?
We're going to move on because I can't think of anything.
Alright then.
Even though there are lots of times that I I know for a fact that I've felt embarrassed. Like someone will be like, oh my god, you didn't know that?
Yes.
Like, a lot of times. I just can't think of that right now.
I'm sure. But
Okay.
anyways,
Yes.
grab your popcorn, grab your drink.
Don't do that.
It's time for movie time. And which one are we talking about today? We're talking about Cars.
Yes,
I just
the
wanted
kids
Jade's-
movie, animated.
The animated
Pixar
kids movie.
animated movie.
But which one are we talking about? 1, 2, or 3?
Let's talk about 3, because I think out of all of them, that's the best one.
Yes, and we've watched it a
Multiple
shitload of times.
Because Jordan,
Used to be
youngest.
completely like obsessed with it. He's done it on a few different things now, but
now
yeah.
it's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, now it's Spider-Man. Like, he'll pretty much every day want to watch that same movie.
Yep.
And you have to, or he'll throw a fit. But, okay, so Cars 3.
Maybe it's not a good idea to talk about Cars 3.
Why not?
Because it's the last one. Like, because we're going to have to elaborate on
So do you want to go back to just Cars?
What do you think?
If you want to go back to
We
Cars,
can just talk about all three.
I think Cars. If you want, yeah, let's just jam them all together.
Yeah. Starting
'Cause
with 1.
Honestly, Cars 2, like how you were saying, maybe that's not a good idea on Cars 3, but I think Cars 2 is just so far out. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it doesn't
actually tie
relate to
in.
1 or 3. 3
Yeah.
relates more to the first one. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
So, in the original Cars, you meet Lightning McQueen.
A new race car driver. Like,
Yes, he's a rookie.
Yes.
And
He is.
what does he do? He pretty much comes in and
He's
tears
very
shit up.
cocky. He's very.
But he's good.
Arrogant. Yes, he is. But he's very full of himself. Just very. Yeah.
Yes.
Just thinks he's the best.
Yep, because he kind of is.
Yes, and it's. Yes. So they're. I think it's the final. Like they're competing for the Piston Cup. It's between Strip Weathers, the king of Dynaco, and this is his last race before he retires. And then there's Chick Hicks, who's also.
Chick Hicks, he's a prick.
Yeah, he is.
And Lightning McQueen.
But it's between the 3 of them because it's a 3-way tie.
Yes, because that's the race. That actual race.
Yes.
Was the Piston Cup, and Lightning throughout the movie was pretty much saying he's a one-man show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Something like exactly like that. And so kind of ticked off his whole crew.
And they quit it.
And then he thought during the Piston Cup he decided not to get tire change, just fuel.
Blew his tires out.
Blew his tires out on the last lap. And he's hobbling, you know.
'Cause he was in first
Picture a car
place.
on its rims,
Yes.
hobbling to the finish line.
Yeah.
And so, him, Chick Hicks, and you said his
Strip
name's
Weathers.
Strip. I just know him as the King.
Yes.
But they literally all crossed the finish line at the exact same time.
So, it's the first time in Piston Cup history that that's happened. So, a week later, there's going to be a tiebreaker race between the 3 of them. So him and his making Mac drive when he's tired on the interstate, you know.
Yep.
And Mac falls asleep driving, and his trailer door opens up, and
Lightning was asleep as well.
Yeah. And he
magically rolls out because they don't strap him down. He doesn't put himself in park or anything.
He rolls out of the trailer onto the freeway and basically loses Mac.
Yep.
And he thinks he catches up with them, but it turns out to not be Mac. It's a Peterbilt.
I ain't no dang Mac. I'm a Peterbilt.
Yeah. And so he got mad. And then he's like, oh crap, what do I do now? And he tries to get back on the interstate. Well, he ends up not getting back on the interstate, and it takes him to Route 66, right through Radiator Springs.
Yep.
Which not a lot of people, or not a lot of cars realized it was still there because, you know, the interstate was built. So everybody, you know, if they don't go, they don't go through Radiator Springs anymore. They just take the interstate. So he gets through Radiator Springs and he's flying through, and he's like, wait, what? Like, he doesn't, like, he's like, this is not the interstate or whatever. And then the cop, what's his name?
I honestly can't remember.
I don't either, but long story short, he destroys their whole road.
Yeah.
He just destroys it. And so they take him in and lock him up in the
impound.
Impound, yeah.
Yep.
Put a boot on his little thing, and
with Mater.
Yep, he meets Mater. Mater tows him in there and tows him into their little courthouse. And this is where he meets Sally.
Yep.
The town lawyer. And where he meets yes. Where he meets Doc.
Doc Hudson. Oh yeah.
Hates him at first because, you know,
he knows who he is.
Yep.
He don't want him in his town.
Yep. And because, well, we'll get to that in a minute. But he makes him fix the road, and he does a shitty job at first. And then no, I'm sorry, let me back up. They basically have, I forgot about the race, because they have a race, remember? They make a bet, and they're like, McQueen's like, or no, I'm sorry, Doc makes a bet. He's like, you know, if you win the race, you can leave and I'll fix the road, and if not, you have to stay and fix it.
Yeah, and McQueen's like, okay, easy.
Uh-huh.
But they're racing on their little dirt
and he
track.
has no idea.
One lap was all.
But Doc Hudson he doesn't know this now, but he realizes it later, obviously. He was one of the best dirt track racers
We're just going to talk about Cars 1, because we're already in
Okay,
Travers.
that's fine. But yeah, he doesn't know that yet. McQueen doesn't realize it's the fabulous Hudson horse.
Yes, and he used to always race on dirt tracks.
Yes.
He knows how to drift.
Yes.
McQueen doesn't.
No, so he goes around the corner and he ends up going off the track into the bushes. And
yeah, the porcupines.
Porcupines?
Wasn't it?
Cactuses!
Oh.
He's in the cactuses.
Same thing, they both poke you.
God. So...
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, guys. Cactuses, yes.
Yeah, so basically he has to stay and fix the road with Bessie, the big, what is it?
Asphalt machine,
pretty
much. Paver.
Yep. So he's moving along, and he just thinks this town is, you know, he hates it there and hates all the people.
Yeah,
he calls it hillbilly hell.
He's got to get to California to schmooze Dynaco.
Yeah, because
the winner gets Dynaco.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and so
he does a really crappy job.
Yes, he does.
Keeping that PG-13, because we're talking about a PG-13 movie.
It's a PG movie.
Oh. Yeah, it probably is, yeah. But anyways...
I'm trying to figure out when he realized... Oh, yeah.
When he realized what? Yes.
Because, Mater's, like, the one who was assigned to, like, keep an eye on him, make sure he was redoing the road right and everything. And, you know, this one night he was actually, like, the first time he did a crappy job, and then he did so bad he had to scrape it all off and restart over. And so, I think it was one night where, him and Mater were out doing that, and then, they come back into town and he sees Doc, you know, over at the dirt track with old racing tires on.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing? Like, just watching him, you know? And he's watching him just, you know, go around and make laps, and he's just like, oh my gosh, you know? And I can't remember, this was later on in the movie, it wasn't at the same time, but he finds Doc's garage and sees all these piston cups in there,
yeah.
And he's like, wait, what? And then he sees all, like, the newspaper, like, articles and stuff, and about the fabulous Hudson Hornet, and he's like, that's when it, you know, clicks in his mind. He's like, oh my god, that's, you know, Doc is the Hudson Hornet.
Seen the newspaper article of his crash, too.
Doc's crash, and that's why he, you know, had to stop racing.
Yeah, he was replaced.
Yep.
He wanted to come back, but they didn't.
Right. And so, and I think that whole thing made him really bitter over all the years, because, you know, he even admitted later on, he was like, because at first McQueen thought he quit, and he was like, you know, you think I quit? You know, when I got rebuilt and everything, he tried to go back, and they basically told him, you know, you're done. They moved on to the next rookie or whatever. And so, and he even said, he was like, I had no choice, even though there was a lot left in me. I still wanted to race, you know, I couldn't. They didn't let me, so. And I think that's what made him hate racing and everything, and just because no one in Radiator Springs knew that about him.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody knew.
When Lightning mentioned it to him, they all just kind of laughed.
Like, Doc, a race car?
Yeah.
Because he didn't want anybody to know about it. He just was, you know, trying to not leave that life in the past.
Yes.
And then when McQueen found that out, he was mad, obviously. And so, I'm trying to think. During that whole time, he is falling in love with, what is this guy doing?
I don't know, taking his time.
He, like, falls in love with Sally, too.
Mm-hmm.
And ends up, honestly, he ends up, like, kind of befriending everybody in the town, because, you know, he kind of realizes, like, wow, it's nice to just, really? I mean, kind of, but
anyways,
we've said that before, too, and there's really not that many people in there. We're not going to have time to do trivia, because we're sitting here talking about this movie.
I know.
Oh, well. But anyways.
Well, finish your story on Cars 1.
Anyways, where was I?
He becomes friends with all of them.
Yeah, becomes friends with all of them, and fixes the roads, and realizes, you know, how nice it is to just actually be able to, like, slow down and enjoy life, and how nice it is to actually have friends, like, real friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, during that time, like, that's when they find McQueen. Like, he helps out, because everybody has, like, Red, the fire truck, and, who's the old car that was, like, with Stanley, the founder. You know who I'm talking about? That black old...
That lady.
Yeah, what's her name? I
can't remember her name.
I can't remember her name. Her and Luigi and Guido's tire shop. Like, he gets tires from them. And, you know, because Luigi's Italian. And he's all about his Ferraris.
Formula One racing.
Yeah. And
or Formula Racing, I guess they call it.
And he was, the whole time, was trying to get McQueen to buy his tires, and he finally ends up buying tires from him. And Ramon, you know, who does, you know, painting and body work, he gets the whole paint job done. Just helps everybody out in the town, basically.
Yes.
Because, you know, not many visitors come through there anymore.
Yes.
So long story short, after all that...
Not so short.
I know. But, the people who are searching for McQueen, they find him. And, you know, because all this time he's been lost. And, you know, they take him back and...
Get him to California.
Yep, and then they realize, Sally finds out that Doc called them. Because they would have never found him if it wasn't for Doc. And she was like, you called them? And Doc was like, oh, it's for the best. Like, I think he was trying to get rid of them. And Sally was like, best for us or best for you, you know? Because, you know, he's still trying to not associate with that, with racing.
Yep.
So, anyways, he gets to California. I mean, he's pretty, like, distraught about it, because, you know, when he discovered Radiator Springs or whatever, he, like I was saying before, it made him realize, like, oh, it's, you know, this is what it's like to actually, like, have a life and have friends.
Yes.
And so when he gets to California, he has nobody, no pit crew, nothing. But, nobody but Mac. Mac is his, you know.
Yes.
He gets there and Mac is all he has. But he's on the track and then, Doc starts talking to him. And he's like, wait, what? And then he realizes they all showed up. And so he basically helped him win. And at the very end, he was like...
Well, he didn't win, but...
No, I'm sorry. Let me back up. He didn't win, but yes. Chick technically won because he crossed first, but McQueen stopped and helped the King because he crashed and helped him cross the finish line.
McQueen was in first. Chick Hicks was behind the King.
Yes.
And I think he said something like he's
not
tired,
coming in behind you, or I'm not coming behind you again, old man.
Hit the King, spun him out, caused him to crash. The King was obviously hurt. And
McQueen
I think McQueen stopped like right before the finish line.
Yeah, he did, because he would have won.
And he backed up. Everyone was shocked, like, what is he doing?
And then he
Chick
was like...
Hicks went flying through, like, woo, I won.
Nobody's cheering for him.
Yeah. McQueen went back and helped push the King through.
Because he was like...
finish.
And I think he did that because he was like, oh, a grumpy old race car once told me, you know, it's just a cup, you know. And he wanted him to finish his last race because he was retiring.
Yeah, he was thinking about Doc.
And how he crashed.
Yeah.
And how he didn't get to, you know, have that last race. So, at the end there, he was like, you know, because when he realized Doc and everybody came, he was like, oh, what made you come back? Because he was like, oh, I thought you'd never come back or something. But I can't remember what made him come back. I think it was because, like, he realized how, like, good McQueen was. Like, he saw something in McQueen that, like... Because at the very end, he's like, you got a lot of stuff, kid.
Yes.
And I'm going to jump to Cars 3 real quick.
Why?
Because I know, but I just want to mention this because it's good. I made this connection, this inference, watching Cars 3 when it actually came out.
Okay.
10 years later or whatever. Like, he came back, like, Doc Hudson, the fabulous Hudson Hornet, he came back for McQueen. Like, that was the best part of, like, his, like, racing. Like, not racing itself was the best part of his life, but McQueen was.
Like, mentoring
being able
him
to,
and helping teach him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't racing itself. It was McQueen came into his
Yes.
life and he was able to, like...
Yes, he really enjoyed
teach
that.
him, yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. We're going to do our trivia after we get out of the gym.
If you think about it, it's a really good movie. And honestly...
It is. I know. We're rambling on here. We need to get in the gym.
Fine.
We're going to do our car trivia after we get out of the gym.
Okay.
See you guys soon. Okay, guys, we're back. Finally out of the gym. I know it was only 2 seconds for you. But... time to do some car trivia. Today we are going to do trivia on Lamborghini.
Wait a minute, we forgot to rate cars. 10 out of 10 for me.
You think so?
We were only talking about the first one, technically, right?
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, I'd say so too. Yeah.
I liked it. I thought
It was a
good.
pretty perfect movie. But maybe we only think that because we've watched it so
All
many
of them,
dang
yeah.
times.
That and, like, just knowing what happens in Cars 2 and Cars 3, like, and putting it all together.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of them are good.
Yeah.
Third one's my favorite, but first one's good too.
I was gonna say, I know a lot of people were kind of about the second one.
Yeah,
because it's like it has nothing to do with the first one.
No. I mean, it kind of does, but it doesn't. It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
The concept is...
Yeah. Anyways, Lamborghini Trivia.
Yep.
Waiting on you.
What was Lamborghini's first commercial vehicle? LM002, Miura, SC18 350 GT.
I have no clue, but I'd say the first one maybe, the LM.
No.
I can't even remember the other options.
Miura, SC18 350 GT.
Mira. Oh my gosh. The next one. Okay, so what was it?
The 350 GT. It debuted at the March 1964 Geneva Motor Show and production began the following May. The success of this model ensured the company's survival, establishing it as, oh my gosh, no! Establishing it as a viable competitor with the rival manufacturer, Ferrari.
Okay.
What animal appears on the Lamborghini logo? Bird, lion, bull, horse.
Bull.
Yeah. Because I got that wrong. Like a couple weeks ago, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I was confused on it at that point too, for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Like I've always known it was a bull. I guess for some reason that day it just slipped my mind.
Well, it's not like you see them every day either, so...
At least not around here.
Yeah. Lamborghinis were originally air conditioners, forklifts, tanks, tractors.
Yep.
What?
I said yep.
Yup, what? That's a question.
Oh, that's a question.
My gosh.
Tractors.
Yes. Although the
Oh. He didn't even wave at me. What a prick.
It's okay.
Blacked out, new model, Subi, big wang, sedan.
It was kind of ugly.
You know better. You're supposed to wave at me.
Really? He probably didn't see you because of your windshield.
Yeah, well, his windshield's pretty dark too. Anyways.
Although the Lamborghini name is now associated mostly with luxury cars, the company originally made tractors.
Yes. That's why I was saying, because I thought you were just continuing on with whatever.
top speed in excess of 200 miles per hour. Murcielago, Huracan, Diablo, Countach.
Let's try the Diablo.
Yeah. How did you know that?
Kind of a lucky guess.
Diablo was named after a ferocious bull raised by the Duke of Veragua in the 19th century, famous for fighting an epic battle with El Chicoro.
Hey.
What? Oh, same dude. Maybe.
Was it?
It sure looked like it. Same car.
Okay.
That would have been that'd be funny if that was the same car and the same dude. Because I mean,
at least that guy waved at me.
Well, so did the other guy in the red WRX.
I know.
On our way here.
I'm complaining about the guy in the black one.
Yes. Okay. What kind of Lamborghini does Bruce Wayne drive in Christopher Nolan's Batman movie? Murcielago, Aventador, Silhouette, Diablo.
Diablo.
I was thinking of Aventador.
I was thinking Murcielago.
Yeah, you're right. He drives a Murcielago, which means bat in Spanish.
Means what?
Bat in Spanish.
Oh, really?
I guess.
Well, that makes sense then.
The first Lamborghini ever displayed at an auto show was missing a body, tires, a chassis, and engine. I'm gonna say engine. I don't think they would put anything on display without a body, tires, or chassis.
Well, yeah. I mean, and if it's on display, it's not like they're gonna sit there and, hey, check this out.
Yeah. The Lamborghini 350 GTV was launched at the we already talked about this. At the Geneva Motor Show in 1966. While visitors could see the engines of most of the other cars, they were not allowed to look under the hood of the Lamborghini. The reason for this was that the car did not have an engine.
Okay.
What kind of tires do Lamborghinis come with? Bridgestone, Michelin, Pirelli, Vittoria.
Well, let's say Vittoria.
No.
Let's say Pirelli.
I was thinking it was one of those two.
They just sound fancier,
Yeah.
so I kind of assume.
Every Lamborghini manufactured is fitted with Pirelli tires.
Huh.
Which Lamborghini starred in Transformers: Age of Extinction as the film's main antagonist? Aventador, Murcielago, Huracan, Veneno.
Yeah, that last one. No, the Aventador.
That's what I was thinking. Lockdown was a ruthless, cold-hearted, and barbaric Cybertronian bounty hunter who transformed into a gray 2013 Lamborghini Aventador LP 704 coupe.
Huh.
What caused Lamborghini sales to plummet in 1973? Engine recall, business scandal, oil crisis, better competition.
1973?
Yeah.
The oil crisis?
Lamborghini grew rapidly during its first 10 years, but sales plunged in the wake of the 1973 worldwide financial downturn and the oil crisis.
Makes sense.
What was the first Lamborghini SUV? Sesto Elemento GLS 100 LM 002 Huracan
LM002. Just because that was an option on our very first question. That's the only reason I guessed that.
The Lamborghini LM002. Maybe it's supposed to be 002. I don't know.
Who knows?
Or just LM2. Began life in 1977 as the Cheetah, as the company sought to land a lucrative U.S. military contract which would eventually go to the Hummer H1. After a series of prototypes, the combination of the Countach QV 5.2-liter V12 and a functionally designed 4x4 chassis resulted in an desert at a top speed of 200 miles an hour.
Huh.
No. Okay. Let's go back.
We're doing 15, right?
Yeah. We're on 11.
Okay.
Which Lamborghini was produced for 16 years? Diablo, Murcielago, Countach, Espada.
Diablo? Murcielago?
No.
I can't even remember what the other two were that you said.
Countach or Espada?
Espada. Okay.
There were 8 models of the Lamborghini Countach altogether.
Countach. Probably
and
not saying
I'm
it
not
right,
reading
but...
all those.
Okay.
Who founded Automobili Lamborghini? Fabrizio Lamborghini, Federico Lamborghini, Fermo Lamborghini, Ferruccio Lamborghini. I don't know.
Ferruccio.
Oh yeah. How'd you know that?
That name was in one of our other things.
Oh.
Might have been the Volkswagen one. I can't remember.
After previously founding the tractor company and an air conditioning company, Ferruccio Lamborghini founded Automobili.
Oh, he did do air conditioning?
Yeah. Ferruccio Lamborghini SPA in 1963 to compete with established marques, including Ferrari.
Yeah, because Enzo Ferrari was a dick to him.
Uh-huh. I remember that.
Yup.
What was the successor to the Lamborghini Murcielago? Huracan, Diablo, Spada, Aventador.
I want to say the Huracan. I want to say the Aventador.
I thought it was one of the two. The Aventador is named after a fighting bull, in keeping with the Lamborghini tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Who bought the Lamborghini company in 1998? Volkswagen, Porsche, BMW, Ferrari.
Volkswagen.
Yeah. In 1998, it was sold to the Volkswagen Group, where it was placed under the control of the group's Audi division.
Okay.
Number 15.
Final question.
What kind of car inspired Ferruccio Lamborghini to start his own automobile company?
Ferrari.
You didn't even...
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know if they had a specific car or if
Yes,
it's just the
Ferruccio
brand.
famously owned a Ferrari 250 GT,
Okay.
which he repeatedly took in to be serviced at the Maranello headquarters
Yeah, 'cause
because of
they're
a
junk.
faulty clutch.
I'm just kidding.
I feel like we had that question before.
Yeah, we've had a faulty clutch on our Ferrari too.
You wish.
Yep. All right. There you have it, everybody. I feel like this was a long episode. We'll see, though, once we get it edited. Don't forget to check out our Patreon for the podcast at patreon.com/Drivin Livin. And as always, we will see you guys next week.
See ya.